Dave Anthony, Fox News. The eye came ashore about an hour ago in the Big Bend region.
This is the kind of pelting rain that we were concerned about.
Fox Weather's Robert Ray in the middle of the storm.
Stand by.
He's outside in Perry, Florida.
That's a big wind, some big rain, and the rain hurts. It's just pelting, and when it hits the face, and I got the helmet because this is the kind of winds that can remove debris from buildings and structures. We can hear aluminum in the distance breaking off. The power keeps going in and out.
There are more than 200,000 power outages so far in Florida. Hurricane Debbie's full of rain, and it'll slow down as it moves inland. Up to 2 feet of rain could fall from North Florida to Georgia to South Carolina. Israel's bracing for an attack from Iran or its militant proxies in the region days after the bombing in Iran killed Hamas's political leader.
Israel is taking steps to prepare for a prolonged conflict, as reports indicate the initial Iranian response could come in waves and include extensive missile and drone attacks. A document sent to mayors of northern cities told officials to prepare for water outages, power cuts, and evacuations. And in Jerusalem, an underground command bunker for government officials was opened by the Shin Bet security agency.
Fox's Trey Ingston, Haifa, Israel. There could be another huge sell-off on Wall Street. Dow futures are down more than 800 points on top of Friday's big losses that have sent stocks falling worldwide. Japan's Nikkei took a 12% nosedive overnight.
That's its worst plunge since Black Monday in 1987, 37 years ago. Behind all of this, fears of recession stoked by a poor employment report Friday.
Fox Business Network's Jerry Willis. We just got a Simone Biles update at the Olympics. The Americans won 3 golds in Paris, but today she missed out on a medal in the balance beam, finishing 5th. The U.S. leads the Olympic medal count with 72. America's listening to Fox News.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Hey, Donald Trump Jr. here. Central banks are buying gold at record amounts, and the trend is accelerating in 2024. They see the writing on the wall. The dollar is failing. Is gold the answer for you too? To find out, get a free info kit from Birch Gold Group by texting the word SHELTER to 989898. That's SHELTER to the number 989898 to get your free info kit from Birch Gold, the only gold company I trust, right now.
Message and data rates may apply.
Now that she has the delegate support to be the Democratic presidential nominee, Vice President Harris is expected to pick her running mate before rallying with that VP choice tomorrow in Philadelphia. And that is something that continues to be a focus at the White House.
There are plenty of names being floated around out there, including Arizona Senator Mark Kelly, a handful of different governors, including Governor Pritzker of Illinois, Governor Beshear of Kentucky, Governor Shapiro of Pennsylvania, and Governor Walz of Minnesota.
That's Fox's Mark Meredith at the White House. The vice president met with several of her potential VP nominees yesterday and is continuing to go through the vetting process before making that announcement and then going out for several different rallies in several states in the coming days. Political upheaval in Bangladesh. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina has resigned, and she fled the Asian country today after weeks of protests against a government jobs quota system got violent with nearly 100 people killed. Boeing is going to be under more scrutiny this week into the incident that put the airplane makers manufacturing under the microscope. That door plug blowout on an Alaska Airlines flight in January.
A hearing beginning tomorrow will feature sworn testimony on the matter and will become part of the public record. The flight was scheduled to go from Portland, Oregon to Ontario International Airport in California on January 5th of this year when the incident happened. All of the 177 crew and passengers on board the Boeing 737 MAX 9 survived. 8 had minor injuries. In a preliminary report, the NTSB said 4 key bolts were missing from the door. Tanya J. Powers, Fox News.
At the movies, Deadpool and Wolverine set a record, topping the box office for a second straight week with another $97 million. Its total now surpasses Passion of the Christ for the highest grossing R-rated movie of all time. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. Well, Ford County coroner confirming identities of 2 killed in a head-on crash last week. 44-year-old Jacob Pitzkowitz of Paxton and 58-year-old Chris Perry of Houston, Texas. Pitzkowitz was the vice president of information technology and operations at the Federal Community Bank in Paxton. He also served in the Paxton Park District. City of Champaign hosting a community gun violence response meeting this week after several people hurt in shootings the past 2 weeks. Police Chief Tim Tyler addressing the media, urging the community to avoid pop-up parties after the recent shootings. Meeting takes place 4 to 5:30 at the Garden Hills Academy. Governor signing a proposal into law Friday, helping families put leftover college savings funds into retirement plans. The treasurer and state lawmakers told reporters in March that families who don't use all the money in their college savings accounts could put them into a Roth IRA. It allows tax and penalty-free rollovers from college savings plans to retirement plans. You're up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Thank you, Jim. Good Monday morning. It is August 5. There's Diane Ducey.
Good morning.
I'm Stevie Jay. I don't ever remember a pop-up party growing up.
I don't either. We had road parties.
We had parties. We did
which
stuff.
Were out in the country.
Wasn't like 2. Yep, we did that. And there weren't 2 in the morning.
That's right.
And I guess these days you got to expect weapons, and then if there's drinking involved, then you're just asking for trouble.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. It's a new phenomenon, but I had to get home, right? I mean,
right.
We weren't allowed to do that.
Pretty much midnight was my deadline, and I think that's the curfew, isn't it?
I don't know what the curfew is. I don't think it matters because we can't enforce that. But yeah, okay, we got to talk a little about the Hurricane Debbie.
Yeah.
Mr. Greg Solier, our learned one. It is a Hurricane 1, but that can still be pretty nasty, right?
Yeah, a lot of people think, oh, it's just a Cat 1 hurricane, or gee, it was a 5 and it went down to a 1. No, that's no problem. Well, not when you got to deal with A, 10-foot storm surge, and B, 2 feet of rain, and these are tropical downpours, and that's pretty much going to be the story from the Carolinas down into northern Florida this morning. Matter of fact, just here probably in the past 45 minutes to an hour, Debbie has made landfall a little bit north and northwest. If you're familiar with Cross City, Florida, there in the Big Bend area, just a little north and northwest of there, in a wall of water making its way up into areas of south and southeastern Georgia and down through Florida as we speak.
Yeah, I heard the guy talking all this, the rain really hurts. I've got a helmet on. I'm going, okay, the reason he's out there is because I watch. Mm-hmm. It's just like, what are you doing out there? But it's like, look at that guy out there in the hurricane. It's
absolutely.
It's why does it give me more value? The guy's in danger, I suppose. But anyway. So Hurricane Debbie, 2 feet of rain?
Right.
What? Yeah, 2 feet of rain, and it'll probably curl up through the eastern reaches of the Florida Panhandle, southern Georgia, make a right turn, head back out into the open waters of maybe to about the Gulf Stream of the Atlantic, and then make its way probably another. There'll be 2 landfalls, probably another one somewhere into coastal South Carolina in the next maybe 2 or 3 days. So and it's going to take a week for this thing to get from Florida up past New England.
Okay. Well, and by the way, that would be about 240 inches of snow.
Man,
you got to put that in your pipe and smoke it.
Yeah, that's another way to put perspective on it. Yes.
Holy cow! Weather brought to you by Carl.
Carl reminds you, cross your child's yearly physical exam off your back to school list. Find a location near you. Visit carl.org.
All right, for this week in Central Illinois, my friend, what are we looking at?
Well, you got, a couple of, 1,500 miles away or so, is Debbie, but having a direct influence and realigning the upper air pattern. That's what happens sometimes, when systems ultimately make their way up the eastern seaboard or come in through the southeast. We either get hot and dry around here, or we get a pronounced cool off, for a few days, and we're going to get into the cooler end of things. Not much rain expected this week. And so if you're looking for some cooler, drier air, hang in there the next couple of days. If you want a little more heat and humidity, so lots of that showing up. But we've got to get closer to about the 12th or 15th of the month of August, and they'll be off to the races on temperatures again there. In the meantime, a couple of showers and thunderstorms up towards the Chicago area, flood watches through Wisconsin. We've got a reading over at Willard and Savoy right now, and yeah, I'm sure you feel humidity out there. The next couple of days, it'll be hot and humid, but manageable. 73 now with a dew point of 71, up to 92 today. That's not unusual for an August 5. We may bubble up one lone shower thunderstorm later this afternoon and evening. evening time, 73 on the low tonight. Hot, humid tomorrow, 90. But the winds will turn westerly. Humidity begins to drop in the afternoon a little bit. Maybe, again, a lone shower thunderstorm as well. Cooler, less humid in the 60s tomorrow night, and much cooler, less humid Wednesday and Thursday. High temperatures right around 79 on Wednesday. 82 Thursday. Will hover either side of 80 by day and 60s at night Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, AB Dolcious, Greg Sold.
All right, again, welcome to Monday. We have a Stever. We'll tell you about that coming up in a few moments. I don't know how far away Israel is from my home here in Champaign County, but it could all be significant and devastating. Iran is supposed to hit Israel. Israel's talking about a preemptive strike. This could be getting bigger, and it's not good. It is not good if you're getting hit on two sides and you're planning an underground bunker for your leaders in Israel, and Israel has a nuclear weapon. Just pray that it doesn't turn into a full-fledged multi-nation World War III, because I think you're getting closer than we ever would want. So that's going on this morning. Trey Yinks, the fine reporter from Fox News, who's on the ground in Israel and probably will be for a long, long time, is in Haifa this morning. And he'll be calling us in about 20 minutes, and we'll get the very latest on the ground right here on this program. And he's terrific. He's an award-winning journalist who's all about reporting to you what's happening there. So it is a bit scary as they've gone back and forth since the soccer field hit. It killed 12 kids. Hezbollah from Lebanon sent their way. And so now Israel's been pinpointing strikes because their technology is way better than Iran has, and they've been pinpointing killing these leaders of Hamas and Hezbollah. So that's not gone well. They went right into Tehran to get one of them, and so Iran's planning a major attack, a lot of drones, multi-attacks, and it's not a question of if, it's a question of when that hits. Kamala Harris is picking a VP. I'm all in on Josh Shapiro, the governor of Pennsylvania. Why else would you have their complete week-long, 7-day campaign in all these states around the country? Why would you start in Pennsylvania if it's not Josh Shapiro? He's the governor of Pennsylvania.
Okay.
You're going to take Mark Kelly from Arizona to Pennsylvania to start?
That does make sense.
Anyway, that's why I'm all in. He's Jewish, and that's not sitting well with the progressives because anti-Semitism is now a sport. People are fine saying how much they hate the Jews these days. I don't get it. So you've got that announcement coming up today. So it can be any time today.
Okay.
And we got to play back on Thursday what I predicted to John Decker.
Right around 7:40, I believe, in case you want to go back to the podcast at StevieJay.com.
Last Thursday, I said all in, all the chips, Josh Shapiro. And so John made kind of a big deal out of it. Little did he know I can digitally edit anything. So I will sound good Thursday regardless of what happens.
Okay, then.
It's Donald Trump spoke in Atlanta, did not like the way he attacked Governor Kemp. I know Governor Kemp won because of Donald Trump. He got him over the hump in that very close election in 2018. And now Governor Kemp apparently came out and said, I'm not endorsing Donald Trump. Why would you even say that? Just don't say, yeah, man, I'm really supportive that we get Kamala out of there. It should be all in on playing Kamala's clips and saying, no, she changed her mind in the last 3 weeks. Why? She just evolved. 3 weeks, she evolved. Anyway, it's too much material to have to attack each other. I don't get it. The focus should be on, are you happy with how your life is today?
That's right. And here's what I can do to make your life more positive.
Yep. I went out and bought sandwich stuff this morning. Give me a little sandwich, $21. Talking about Swiss cheese, a loaf of bread,
some turkey.
Little turkey. And a little mayonnaise was like $8.
Wow.
I mean, what are you going to do? I want a sandwich. It might last me a week, so I can cost average it to like $4 a sandwich. I mean, it's just unbelievable. Well, Jimmy John's used to be a $5, $6 sandwich. It wasn't Subway, 6-inch, $4, $5, $5.
You're right.
That stuff's $10.
It is.
So don't tell me about a 15% increase. It's like 100%. So we're all feeling that, and that's number one. The inflation, the costs for everybody. It's going to get worse if Kamala wins. That is a 100% fact. Taxes will go up. She's far left. It's going to get worse. So if you don't like Trump, then I guess you either don't vote or you vote for Kamala. If you don't like the policies, if you don't like wokeism, which is a virus that's spreading, you're going to get that. You're going to get more of it. They're going to trash the Supreme Court, do all that term limit stuff on them, and you get more partisanship in our highest court, which is bad.
A lot of local families signing their kids up for school, and I know I saw a post about $700 is what it cost me when I signed up for school. Now, I don't know whether it was numerous kids, is that numerous
Can't be one,
PE
right?
uniforms? Is this the technology that they're getting now?
I think it used to be a couple, 200-300. So is it doubling? Maybe.
So, and at 359-2255, if you want to let us know what the average is in your home for back to school.
All right. Yeah. Those clothes fit fine. Go ahead. Yeah, I know.
Exactly.
It might rain. Those pants are fine. Check your sports headlines.
High water section.
7:16 ESPN 93.5.
Who would have thunk it? Cubbies got 3 out of 4 in that series. Let's get your Redbird recap.
With Ricky Gordon, I'm John Rooney, and last night at Wrigley Field in Chicago, it was a finish of a frustrating weekend on the north side. The Cardinals had a 2-0 lead on a Mason Wynn home run, only to have the Cubs tie it with 2 in the fourth, and the tying run came in on a balk called by Pete Crow Armstrong, the batter, before the home plate umpire called it. After that, 2 more runs the next inning, 2 more after that. The Cubs beat the Cardinals 6-2 to win 3 out of 4.
Cardinals had trouble with another left-hander. Justin Steele was outstanding for the Cubbies. He had been bad the last 3 times out, had not pitched well, but he was sharp yesterday, and the Cardinals just couldn't stop the Cubs from adding on, and it was a frustrating trip to the Windy City.
Another left-handed pitcher today, and Sean Manaea for the Mets.
You're going to have to figure out a way to get lefties. Andre Palante, 4-5, will go for St. Louis.
It's the Cardinals and the Mets, a makeup game at Busch Stadium. We're on the air at 3:20, 4:05. Ricky will have the lineups. I'll bring you the first pitch by Andre Palante at 4:15.
The Cardinals Hall of Fame and Museum is the official home of Cardinals history. For those who want to be a part of one of the sport's greatest collections in the world, museum membership is the way to go. Cardinals Museum membership provides unlimited admission for 1 year, exclusive Hall of Fame bobbleheads, discounts, ticket offers, and more, in addition to supporting exhibit design and artifact restoration. There are a variety of membership levels, including our ultimate level of membership. For more info and to join, go to cardinals.com/membership.
20 losses in a row. We had the Chicago White Sox beat by Minnesota 13-7.
Can we all pool money and just have a stock share here and buy the White Sox? How
Maybe.
much? I mean, they've lost 20 straight?
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
They've got the Oakland A's with an 8:40 start. Illinois women beating Italy a 67-65. So they're on their international trip right now. I know that Shauna Green, the women's basketball coach, being honored in the Diamond Desserts and Distinction with the Girl Scouts. I believe that's August 22nd. Movie night is coming up on the 10th, Stevie, at Memorial Stadium. So at 7 o'clock, you can catch Kung Fu Panda 4.
All right, let's go. That's a current one.
That's right.
Isn't it? Isn't that newly released?
It's pretty new.
Yeah. All right, 7:18, our weather with meteorologist Greg Solier, brought to you by the Urbana Park District.
The Fresh Crew Volunteer Stewardship Day is tomorrow between 9 and 11. Get grades 6 through 12 involved. Learn more at urbanaparks.org.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for Central Illinois, Champaign, Urbana, and vicinity. Some classic mid-summertime heat and humidity, but nothing too extreme, out of control, and/or heat wave. Nothing like that. Matter of fact, is Debbie making landfall imminently, if she hasn't done so already, into the Big Bend area of Florida, makes her way slowly up the eastern seaboard, will buckle the jet stream on southward. That's a typical scenario for the Atlantic tropical basin, and bring about cooler, drier air settling in from northwest to southeast. Oh, don't worry, still lots of heat and humidity showing up mid to late portions of the month of August. Up to 92 today, we may bubble up a lone thunderstorm this afternoon. Down tonight to a buggy low of 73, a lone thunderstorm this evening. Tomorrow mostly sunny, hot, humid again, with again an isolated afternoon thunderstorm, the high around 90. Winds will turn northerly tomorrow. Night drop temperatures down to 65. Cooler, less humid sunshine. Wednesday high at 79, back up to 82 on Thursday, 81 on Friday, and highs near 80 for the weekend. Enjoy it. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, meteorologist Greg Solier.
All right, sir. Thank you very much. We have a Stever that you'll want part of. Stand by. I'm looking for a first-time winner on this one. Stand by for something very enjoyable. It is 7:20. Fox Business next.
Since Busey Bank first opened our doors in 1868, we have built upon a tradition of close relationships and broad financial capabilities. Our experienced team provides the highest level of personalized service to ensure we accomplish your goals, simplifying your wealth management and business lending needs, and ensuring a legacy for generations. Building business, growing wealth since 1868. Proud to be the official bank of the Fighting Illini. Member FDIC.
I'm Charles Payne, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Global markets and stock futures are slumping. Dow futures have been down as much as 800 points with renewed concerns about a possible recession. July's weaker than expected job growth, just 114,000 new positions, with the unemployment rate rising to 4.3%, has investors bracing for the possibility of the economy skidding. Adam Turnquist, chief financial technical strategist at LPL Financial, says now there's speculation the Federal Reserve could be cutting interest rates by 0.5% in September to head off a recession. Cybersecurity company CrowdStrike is fighting back against Delta's accusations that its botched update cost the airline $500 million. CrowdStrike says Delta did not respond to an offer of on-site assistance. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Coselda, invested in you.
Stay on top of the latest forecast with America's Weather Team in the palm of your hands.
Here's the latest from America's Weather Center.
It's Fox weather updates throughout your busy day, every day.
That heat's going to be out there for one more day.
Temperatures being 30 degrees above average.
Put the power of over 100 meteorologists and the worldwide resources of Fox in your hands with the Fox Weather Podcast. Precise, personal, powerful. Subscribe and listen now at foxnewspodcasts.com.
Get the roof your home deserves by Roof Doctors, your residential roofing specialist that has always offered the best warranties in the industry, like our non-prorated 50-year warranty. Our customers love that we are family-owned and locally operated. We make our customer needs our top priority. With over 30 years experience and the best customer service, give Roof Doctors a call today for your free estimate at 328-7529. In your community and for your community, Roof Doctors.
I've got to clean out this garage. Let's see. What's the cheapest and easiest dumpster service in our area?
Here's what I found. The doggy bag.
Think she's broken. I'm not looking for takeout. Siri, try again.
The doggy bag from Bulldog Disposal in Mahomet.
Doggy bag? What's that?
If you got junk that needs to go, but you don't want the hassle of having an enormous dumpster delivered, grab a doggy bag, keep it as long as you need. They'll come take it away. For more information, just visit bulldoggybag.com.
That's bulldoggybag.com.
Shohei Ohtani and the Los Angeles Dodgers visit Busch Stadium the weekend of August 16th through the 18th, and you won't want to miss this blockbuster matchup. The Hollywood stars from LA go head-to-head with Mason Wynn, Wilson Contreras, and the Redbirds. Plus, there are great giveaways you won't want to miss, like the popular Cardinals belt bag. That's the Dodgers and Cardinals, August 16th through the 18th at Busch Stadium. Great seats remain. Get yours today at Cardinals.com.
This is Wilson Contreras, San Luis Cardinal, for the Lou.
All right, 7:23. Good news, bad news. Cardinals and Cubs are still in it to get at least playoffs. Mm-hmm. But if they don't get raging hot, it won't matter. I mean, these are pretty average teams. In fact, the whole Central Division, I'm going to include Milwaukee in there because they've been sliding a little bit. It's not very good. I mean, relative to who you got to beat, Philadelphia Phillies. Oh, good night. And maybe the Dodgers, but the Dodgers haven't been outstanding either. Freddie Freeman's son, who's first baseman for the Dodgers, he had a horrific virus. He left the team to be with him. Max, his son, is out of the hospital. A lot of prayer there, but intensive care, 8 days for a little 5-year-old.
Shoot.
So there's Freddie Freeman ought to be at that series of the Cardinals in August here coming up.
Okay.
All right, 7:24. We have a Stever. It's Long Branch Steakhouse in Gifford. I'm looking for people that have never won this. So if you've never won, you've tried to win that $50, go have some steak up in Gifford.
Oh, yeah.
Enjoy, but first-timers only. We're just trying to spread it around. So we want new people to try it because they've tried, and a lot of people try, obviously, to go $50 to go to Gifford. So all you have to do is go to GoStever.com. It is up and running, GoStever.com, and you can perhaps win. The Stever program where I happily give you money to spend at said business. Today's said business is Gifford and Long Branch Steakhouse and Donnie and the team. Donnie and Hunter and the team.
Mm-hmm.
All right, $50 off your meal. Enjoy. GoStever.com. GoStever.com.
Boy, is that a good steak.
Yeah, it really is. Plus the sides and the mac and cheese that we've always talked about.
Mm-hmm.
Jay Lehman likes going as well. It's a lot of fun.
That's right.
Okay, so other news here this morning. The Golden Nugget.
1 year.
1 year yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
How many people went through their doors in the first year? News Gazette has this.
Oh, wow.
It could be the same 8 guys for all I know, but they have a count, and apparently the Golden Nugget has to pay $3 tax for every person in.
I see.
It's a lot of money.
Yeah, it is, but
they make a lot
welcome
of
to
money.
Illinois.
Yep.
100,000.
394,801
That's
admissions over the last 398 operating
Okay.
days. They had a soft open in May of 23. Grand opening was August 4th last year. They took in $4 million in adjusted gross revenue for table games like blackjack.
Okay.
They took in $37 million in slot machines.
Wow.
$37 million. It produced almost $5 million for the state of Illinois and $2.5 million for the city of Danville.
That's awesome for
It is.
Danville.
It is, but is that another additional tax for maybe people that can't afford it? You can get into the whole gambling thing.
You're right.
It is what that is. It's
and jobs were created.
Yeah.
People visiting the community.
Apparently Terre Haute opened one, which has hurt their attendance.
Okay.
I don't know how far Terre Haute is from Danville. Was it an hour? 45 minutes, an hour? But anyway, there's more money to be had. The city has promised them a lot of money if their gross continues to go up. But the Golden Nugget, casino that a lot of people enjoy in Danville. And, it's just like anything. Drink responsibly, gamble responsibly. It's entertainment. You might hit.
Mm-hmm.
I know somebody who put a $2.80 casino chip in the casino, I guess it was a slot machine. $10,000 later.
Oh, nice.
$10,000 cash. Now the IRS got part of that.
Sure.
So, but anyway, it showed me the stack of hundreds.
I think it's Sawgrass is the name of the restaurant that's supposed to be really good, too.
So anyway, that's a year now for Danville. I'm sure it has helped them in various ways.
Mm-hmm.
But again, you hope that people don't go lose their paycheck. And I know the gambling's a problem. It's an addiction, but you just got to gamble responsibly like we say on so many of the other things. Okay, coming up, we got Trey Yinks. He's calling us from Haifa, Israel. There's something to really be concerned and pray about. If you pray, you ought to pray on this because we do not want World War III breaking out because you got China and Russia supporting Iran. Iran has been the backer of all this stuff. Iran got a lot of money from us. We sent them billions of dollars. They support Hezbollah. They support Hamas. They support, huge amounts of dollars.
Mm-hmm.
And the goal is to eliminate Israel. You say, well, I want a two-state solution. Palestine can have this. Palestine wants Israel dead. And so I don't know how you even negotiate when the premise is, okay, it's not I get this, you get that. It's you need to die. So you defend yourself and then you strike them when they strike you, I guess. But it's all bad Israel. That's what we're getting a lot from the media right now. And anti-Semitism, I don't think it's ever been this bad. Just flat out hate the Jews, get rid of them, they should die. What are we doing here? We can't do that. It's just unbelievable. There's stuff going on today that it's just got to be a force of evil.
Yeah.
Permeating through all our stuff. Finally, the boxer thing, were both of these people that were accused of being transgender, were they born female? That's out there. So then the issue is, can you have heightened hormones? So what if your body just produces more cortisol or testosterone?
Right.
Is that fair? How do you even gauge that? I mean, people could have a Y chromosome in there somewhere.
Right.
Producing more hormones that males have. The X is for women. The Y is for men. And so is it like taking enhancers, but if your body generates it, is that illegal? Because you can't have a heightened testosterone because you'll probably have more attributes of a man than you would a woman.
I see.
So how would you even do that? So if both these people were born women and they have high testosterone levels, now what? I don't know. But that's out there this morning.
Okay.
217-359-2255. You can always text in. Somebody said they went to Jimmy John's. We were talking about the price of food.
Yes, and Jake got a sandwich, chips, regular drink, and cookie, $18.
That's Jimmy John's. That used to be $5 and $6 and $7. Well, the cookie probably really hit him. Probably was a $3.50 cookie.
Right.
They can get you on the drinks and the cookies pretty good. $18. What would Subway be? Comparable? If you did the cookie?
I would think so.
I don't know, man. It's just we all feel it, and that's what's been going on, and we want it to stop. And the price of gas seems to be nudging toward $4.
I know.
$3.88 and stuff. That is zero fun, but we're kind of numb to that now because you got to fuel your vehicle.
Yes, we do.
All right, back in a moment. Again, Trey Yinks calling live from Haifa, Israel. We'll get on the ground immediate news that's fresh. Don't go away. 7:30, Champaign-Urbana.
Fox News, I'm CJ Papa. Hurricane Debbie colliding with the Big Bend region in Florida, making landfall in Steinhatchee as a Category 1 storm. Fox Weather's Robert Ray and Perry on the ferocious north side of the eye wall.
Just remarkable. All of a sudden, this whip has come through, and this is the kind of pelting rain that we were concerned about.
Fox Weather Storm Tracker Brenda Kopic in Cross City, just northeast of Steinhatchee.
Directly in front of me, actually, a tree did start to fall, one of those large trees from one of these strong wind gusts.
And power is already out for hundreds of thousands. Investors seem ready for a major sell-off.
Worries about a U.S. recession intensifying a global stock market sell-off led by Japan's Nikkei, which plunged nearly 12.5%.
Fox's Lillian Wu opening bell on Wall Street rings at 9:30 a.m. Eastern. America's listening to Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. An online fundraiser to assist the family of Sonia Massey, a Springfield woman killed in a deputy-involved shooting, eclipsing $500,000 in contributions Friday. The GoFundMe account in Massey's name, established just 8 days earlier, originally sought $100,000 to assist her survivors with counseling, travel, legal, and household expenses. The Matters Park pool will soon be receiving over $8 million in renovations after years of struggling to get funding. Demolition of the pool starts in a few weeks with the summer swim season done. Renovation will keep the pool a similar size, but rearrange the deep diving area. Two smaller pools that have been set unused for nearly 20 years will now hold a zero-entry splash pool and splash pad. Governor signing a proposal into law Friday, helping families put leftover college savings funds into retirement plans. The state treasurer and state lawmakers told reporters in March that families who don't use all the money in their college savings accounts could put them into a Roth IRA. You're locally up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
All right, weather brought to you by Kramer Siding and Window.
Your premier provider for home improvements, specializing in siding, windows, doors, roofing. Find out more at kramersiding.com.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for you. Central Illinois, Champaign and vicinity. Couple of days of heat and humidity. Classic mid-summertime style. Nothing extreme and or out of control. Series of cool fronts up to the north and tropical system. That's Debbie making her way into the Big Bend area of Florida. Probably as a Cat 1 hurricane. A slow northward climb up the eastern seaboard. It'll take about 7 days to accomplish. There may be a couple of feet of rain into parts of the southeast over the next several days, but around here that'll buckle the jet stream on southward, that tropical feature, and bring about a cooler, drier air mass here for the mid and late portions of the week. Don't worry, still lots of heat showing up here by the mid-stretch of August. Up to 92 today, may bubble up a stray afternoon thunderstorm. That'll maybe linger this evening. A muggy low of 73. Hot, humid tomorrow at 90. Again, an isolated afternoon thunderstorm. Winds turn northerly tomorrow night, low down to 65. Sunshine, cooler, 79 on Wednesday, upper 70s and low 80s for Thursday through Sunday. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier.
Better banking experiences start with local people and local decision making. Hi, this is Ryan Heiser, President and CEO of Fisher National Bank. We are a locally owned community bank that has served the area since 1955. Fisher National is rooted in the communities we serve. We pride ourselves on providing financial resources that match or better the mega banks. We are your friends and neighbors who are involved in your communities and take a vested interest in seeing our customers thrive and prosper. Offering a line of rewarding consumer-centric deposits, home mortgages, small business banking, and agricultural lending. There are no compromises banking local with Fisher National. Our convenient online and mobile tools are second to none. We'll work hard to meet your financial needs and earn your trust. Learn more about Fisher National at fishernational.com or stop by one of our branches. Our team looks forward to serving you.
Fisher National Bank. Exceptional communities, exceptional people. Member FDIC.
All right, I've talked about it. This is really serious stuff. It's Iran's going to hit Israel if Israel doesn't hit them first. This is escalating. Trey Yingst, Fox News Television, has been on the ground for what? Since the beginning of this, Trey. You're in Haifa, Israel, but you've been there the whole time, haven't you?
Yeah, absolutely, since this started.
All right, your family and I want to know, what is your exit strategy? I mean, you don't know what's going on, right? There's going to be bombs flying. Where do you go?
Yeah, absolutely. Look, the Iranians are certainly going to attack Israel. According to officials that I've talked to, it's not a matter of if, but rather when. We're in Haifa, Israel's third largest city. It's the northernmost major population center, about 17 miles from the border with Lebanon, where they do expect some of the attack to come from. And my plan is to stay put. We're used to being in the middle of combat zones and under rocket fire and continuing our reporting. And so we'll be here bringing these images live to our audience.
Anybody else doing this, Trey? Because I don't see much.
Not many, but, I think that we're a breed of our own. And my team, they were very experienced. They've covered the entire region, and they've been doing this for almost as long as I've been alive. And so they're very good at what they do. And we've got a lot of plans in place. You got to look at the security. When you zoom out from this is a major event that we are looking at here. The Israelis are bracing for what could be days, weeks, and possibly even months of war with Iran. Now, of course, they're trying to avoid that scenario, but they have to be prepared for it. And it's part of the reason that today we found out that the mayors of these northern cities, like Haifa, where we're at today, have received special instructions from the Israeli army telling them to prepare for power outages, water shortages, and a cut of the internet, because they may be in the dark for a number of days if Hezbollah, Iran's largest proxy in the region, or Iran itself decides to target power plants or water infrastructure across this country.
Okay, so can Israel fight two wars with Hezbollah and Hamas at the same time?
Absolutely. I spoke with Israel's Defense Minister Yoav Gallant recently, and he told me that the country was using just 30% of their air force in Gaza. And the war there, while 300 days in, is certainly starting to wind down from an offensive standpoint. The Israelis maintain some territory inside Gaza. We've been there with forces on the ground as they battle Hamas in the streets of Gaza. But the conflict there is at a place where they don't need to be launching daily airstrikes. They do it from a point of strategy, and they're certainly facing new international pressure for those strikes because oftentimes many civilians are killed in the process. But they're very quickly able to shift their air force north toward Lebanon and even over Iranian territory. The best example of this was just last month following a drone attack against Israel's second largest city of Tel Aviv. You might remember this drone made its way across Egypt and actually came in from the west, across the Mediterranean, and slammed into this major population center. And I was there. I heard the explosion. I ran out in the middle of the night to this site. One person was killed. Many were injured. But the Israelis responded with airstrikes in Houthi territory in Yemen. And that's thousands of miles away, but it shows they have the over-the-horizon capabilities to be able to bring the fight back to these Iranian proxies or Iran itself if they do decide to launch this major attack this week.
Trey Yingst live from Haifa in Israel, latest on the war. ESPN 93.5, Tapman's joint phone line. So, Trey, why did they hit the soccer field? Why did Hezbollah hit the soccer field, kill 12 kids?
Yeah, so last weekend on Saturday, Hezbollah, this Iran-backed group that has around 150,000 rockets and missiles, many of them have been smuggled into southern Lebanon, they launched a heavy rocket at a small community in the northern part of the Golan Heights, a Druze community. These are not Israeli Jews, but this is an area of land that is controlled by Israel. And they killed 12 young souls in a town called Majd al-Shams. And we arrived there less than 24 hours after that attack, and it was a gruesome scene. And the funerals were underway when we got to this community, and it was a community in mourning, and still is today. Hezbollah is firing indiscriminately on Israel. Following the October 7th massacre, Black Saturday, that we covered, we were there amid the massacre as it was unfolding. On October 8th, 24 hours later, Hezbollah, this Iran-backed group, got directly involved in the fight. And since then, they've launched thousands of rockets and drones into northern Israel. And this was one of those instances where a minor miscalculation, they may have been targeting a nearby base, or they could have just been firing these rockets aimlessly toward these communities along the border, but places like Majd al-Shams that didn't evacuate, they are coming under fire. And in this case, 12 people were killed, all of them below the age of 17.
Okay, and obviously a response from Israel, but technologically and capability-wise, Israel would be a 10, they would be like a 1. Is that true?
They would be more like a 5.
Okay.
They do have some great capability. You're right, they certainly have less capability than Israel. They don't have an extensive air force, for example, where they're able to launch attacks deep into other territory using jets. But they have missiles and rockets that are able to reach basically every city in Israel. And the terrain that the Israelis will be faced with if they do decide to launch a ground invasion of southern Lebanon, as they did back during the Second and First Lebanon War, it is incredibly challenging from a battlefield perspective. It's very different than the type of terrain that the Israelis have faced on the ground inside Gaza. Gaza has been focused on urban combat. This is something the Israelis and their special forces have been training for. Southern Lebanon is quite different. It's a mountainous region. There are rivers. There are many tunnels that have actually been dug by Hezbollah, this Iran-backed group, that gives the organization the ability to pop out and launch ambushes against Israeli forces. They have anti-tank guided missiles. They have precision-guided missiles that they could fire toward defense equipment in Israel. They could fire it toward the port in Haifa where we're at right now. And I'm looking out the window of this location we're reporting from, and I can see the Israeli Navy just about a mile away from where I'm standing. The Iranians and Iran-backed groups like Hezbollah also can see this port. They have the satellite imagery. They've released the drone video that they've actually shot themselves with drones that have infiltrated into Israel to gather these sensitive targets. And if this broader war does erupt, we can expect those missiles and rockets to be raining down on cities like Haifa, Jerusalem, and Tel Aviv.
Then what? Again, we've talked about this before. How does this wind down, if ever? What's the end game here, Trey?
It's a great question. And the war inside Gaza, we should separate from all of this. While it did start the current tension and conflict that we're seeing across the region, it's not necessarily going to end it. If you asked me 3 months ago how this was all going to end, I would have told you that there would be a ceasefire in Gaza. Hamas would come to the table, the Israelis would come to the table, they would exchange hostages for Palestinian prisoners, and then ultimately there would be some sort of plan to de-escalate the situation across the region, because Hezbollah, at least on paper, says that's why they're involved in this fight. The point that we've reached now is really a point of no return. There will be an Iranian attack of some sort. There are very few options to have an off-ramp at this point in the conflict. The way that this ends now likely looks like an attack from Iran, possibly an Israeli counterattack. And if the initial Iranian response to all of this, and remember, this is an Iranian response to a suspected Israeli operation that killed the leader of Hamas, Ismail Haniyeh, in Tehran, at the presidential inauguration for the country's new president. And so we back up and we think, okay, so how does all of this end? It likely ends with some exchange of fire between Israel and Iran. If that is calculated and it avoids hitting civilian infrastructure and no one dies and the Israelis intercept the majority of the incoming fire and then they strike back just to send a message, there may still be an off-ramp that involves Gaza and possibly a separate but linked agreement as it relates to Hezbollah in Lebanon. The alternative is that we're looking at a regional war here that unravels very quickly. You see thousands of rockets and missiles being fired into Israel, the Iranians launching attacks from their own soil, and then a conflict erupts before, as we see with all conflicts around the world historically, eventually there will be a negotiated settlement. The question now is, does that settlement come in a matter of weeks or does it come in a matter of months or even possibly years? And that's up in the air as we speak.
And I don't understand how anyone, if there are those that just simply want Israel not to exist, how can you possibly negotiate that if they want you dead? I don't get it.
It's very challenging, right? Because Israel is not negotiating with rational actors in all of this. And it's often, I think, one of the most challenging parts of our reporting and coverage of this story is that when we explain the terms of Hamas and Islamic Jihad inside Gaza or the terms of Hezbollah in southern Lebanon, they don't think with a Western mindset. They're much more willing to go to battle and die for what they believe is the correct reality of the Middle East. And that's quite challenging because the future of the region, as we know, especially living in 2024, is that Israelis will live here and Palestinians will live here. Neither group is going to be completely destroyed. We live in an information society now where the the types of wars that were fought in the past don't exist today. It's too fresh. It's too able to be really discussed with the world. And so we're at a situation today where basically the Americans, and there are other parties involved like the Egyptians and the Qataris, act as middlemen, and they try to bring both sides to the table and find a deal or an agreement that works for both parties. So as that relates to the current situation, the Israelis, some officials want to get the hostages out of Gaza, and they want to end the war immediately. Others feel they need to continue to pressure Hamas in order to get the organization basically to give up. But that's a bit of a miscalculation in all of this, because for many in Hamas, especially when you look at the military wing of the group, they're willing to die in battle against Israel. They don't care if they die. And so that's part of the negotiation. And then you have Hezbollah, which is an actor that's backed by Iran. So if the Iranians aren't at the table, then Hezbollah is not at the table. And that's exactly what we're faced with today.
And, of course, nothing happens if October 7 doesn't happen, correct?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We would not be looking at the situation that we are looking at if Black Saturday did not occur. And that is the tragic reality of this event. We were there in southern Israel as this was taking place. 240 hostages were taken into Gaza. Around 1,200 civilians and soldiers were killed by this Hamas planned attack on the rest day, the Sabbath, for the Israeli and Jewish people. And so if that hadn't happened, we wouldn't be looking at the war in Gaza. Hezbollah would not have been involved in this fight. The Israelis wouldn't have been targeting senior Hezbollah commanders in Beirut. They wouldn't have killed the leader of Hamas, Ismail Haniyeh, and we wouldn't be facing a broad regional war. And some analysts will look at this in the current situation that's unfolding, and they will say this is exactly what Hamas wanted. The reality is it doesn't really matter what they want at this point. Israel is facing the possibility of another attack against its sovereign territory, and we can expect not just the Israelis, but the Americans, any of their allies in the region, the Jordanians, and others, to basically build a coalition very rapidly. It's part of the reason that as we speak, Michael Kurilla, the head of CENTCOM, is on the ground. He's meeting with Israel's defense minister, Yoav Gallant, and they're trying to come up with a plan. How are they going to shoot down these incoming missiles and drones? And what do they do if Iran is successful in actually causing damage to Israel? Because the Americans know this, the president himself knows this, and the entire cabinet understands that if that happens, Israel will take the fight to Iran. They'll take the gloves off, and we will be looking at a regional war that the Middle East hasn't seen in recent decades.
And you got Moscow and Beijing, they could be getting involved too, so that's scary stuff. Trey, I mean, guys your age are playing fantasy football, and here you are, you're over 7 billion people in the world, nobody's doing what you're doing. I mean, it must feel good, but do you get an hour off? I mean, can you take a break, and how would you do that there?
It's a great question. And look, I don't want an hour off. And I tell those people playing fantasy football, if you love it, keep doing it. But I just happen to find the thing that I love, and I think that's why I'm good at it. And that's the advice I would give to anyone. Find the thing that you like doing, and you'll be good at it.
Yeah, but it happens to be critical because we're just not getting a lot of good information out of the Middle East right now. I mean, it's generally tainted or biased in some way. I'm hearing factual things that occurred. Do you talk to the guys? Talk to the people involved? It's very important what you're doing. We thank you very much. Just stay safe for me, would you?
I will. Thanks for having me.
Appreciate you being on. Trey Yinks live from Haifa, Israel this morning with nothing but content.
Mm-hmm.
Bottom line is we don't know.
Right.
Divine intervention, prayer. This is changing the hearts of men. And you're talking about people that want another group of people dead. And I just don't know how to negotiate. And again, he phrased it very well. They're not thinking in the Western thinking, where we have civilization and right and wrong, good and bad, and laws and decency and stuff like that. And they'll point the finger at Israel and how bad they've been to them.
Mm-hmm.
Because the tactics of a lot of these terrorist groups is to hide behind children. So if you try and hit them, you hit the kids, and then they showcase the kids you killed. And then the shot against the 12 under 17 that all died probably was a mistake because they don't have aiming or technology that's going to, perhaps they weren't meaning to do that, but they did. And then, of course, October 7 was horrific, and it'd been tantamount, I guess, to us in America losing 40,000 people in one day. That's the population base from the standpoint of 12, 13, 1,400 that were murdered at some music festival.
Right.
Unbelievable. All right, 7:49. Quick check of your sports and weather before we get up to the 8 o'clock hour. ESPN 93.5.
You have money laying all around your house. You just don't know it. And no, I don't mean selling your great-grandma's good china. I mean all the old metal items you don't want to use or get rid of. Don't pay someone to haul it away. Bring it into Max Twin City Recycling and get paid to have it taken off your hands. They love new customers and are more than willing to walk you through their process step by step. Come check them out at 2808 North Lincoln Avenue in Urbana.
Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
Looking for the perfect pair of boots? Come on down to Pard's Western Shop in Urbana. With an amazing selection that fits every style, Pard's has the perfect pair waiting for you the next time you're hitting the rodeo or stepping out in style. They've got great deals and sale prices on men's cowboy boots, girls' cowgirl boots, and kids' boots. And their friendly staff will make sure you leave with the boots you love. Pard's Western Shop, serving its customers with high-quality merchandise since 1968. Go see them today at 306 North Maple Street in Urbana.
All right, it is 7:51, ESPN 93.5. Glad you're listening. August 5th, Monday morning. We check your sports headlines.
Cubs beat the Cardinals 6-2 yesterday. Now the Cubs will host Minnesota's Twins with a 7:05 start using Kyle Hendricks on the mound. And the St. Louis Cardinals are at Busch facing the New York Mets.
Quick makeup game there.
Andre Palante on the mound. 3:20 for the pregame and 4:15 for the first pitch, meaning the drive.
Yeah, bumped again. We are 24 days from Illinois football.
Yes, we are.
So we're getting in that zone. Do you notice the football teams, the pros, the college guys, they wear sponge tops on their helmets?
I do.
So
it's kind of like bubble wrap or something.
Why wouldn't we use that in the game?
Yeah.
It doesn't look good. It's not crack of football, man. Well, how many concussions would we avoid?
Totally.
I saw that, and it looked spongy. That's kind of was my concept, is put sponges on the helmets.
So is Friday the 10th? That's when they're having their movie night, or is that Saturday? 5:30 to 6:30, there's autographs, and then the movie Kung Fu Panda 4.
Saturday.
Okay. Brought to you by Busey. So head to Memorial Stadium if you want the kids to see an outdoor movie at 7 o'clock at Memorial Stadium.
That's
a
free.
totally free event.
Yeah.
And let's see, the foreign trip is happening as our Illini women's basketball team beat Italy 67-65. It looks like prior to the game, they walked through Florence, participated in a pizza-making class, a cooking class. They had a bike tour. You know how fun it can be to trounce around Italy.
Well, they probably saw the Statue of David, I would think, in Florence. And I don't know if they got over to Pisa. But it'd probably take quite the effort to get all that bunch up the Pisa stairs, Leaning Tower Pisa.
Taking the train to Naples tomorrow,
If you go up Pisa right now, you have to put everything in your locker, purse, chapstick. Nothing can be in your pocket. Apparently, they've had dropping problems.
Oh, wow.
So people get up there and throw things off.
Oh, no.
I mean, it's not very high.
Right.
But still, you go up there and say, my time is 3:15 in the afternoon. You got to be there at 3:14. There's nothing in your pockets. There's no purse. There's nothing.
Okay.
And that's how you get to go up Pisa right
I
now.
see.
I doubt if they did that, but Florence is a hugely historic city. So.
Former Illini tennis player Rajiv Ram got a silver medal. That's his second in the Olympics. People are talking about Scotty Scheffler golfing in the Olympics.
He had an amazing finish. The kid was 5 shots down. And he had a 29 on the back, meaning he had 6 birdies. He had 5 in a row, I think.
Man.
And then he gets up there for the national anthem. He's singing along and then he starts bawling.
Uh-oh.
At the very.
He's getting emotional.
Dun, dun, and he's just wiping hands all over his face.
I see.
He's a really good man. Beautiful wife, beautiful young boy. And they were all there. And Scotty Scheffler wins the gold, and that was something because John Rahm fits into the live golfers will be toast. It won't happen again. I put an asterisk on Bryson DeChambeau. I think he's an odd, different, and very competitive human. He went to live, and he's done fine. But no other live golfer. John Rahm is a live golfer now. Hasn't won anything major since he went to live golf. You wear shorts, you play 54 holes, you start on hole 9, 12, 15, whatever, shotgun.
Right.
It's just a different game. And why would you grind when you have $195 million in the bank? Why do I want to be uncomfortable? What am I doing here? I'm pretty good at golf, but whatever.
By the way, the Special Olympics Region I, it was just such a fun time on Friday, and the weather was great. I mean, it was a little on the hot side, but not as bad as it's been in the past. I think the winning team got 55.
Oof, that's low.
I know.
That's very good.
Mike Wallner was happy.
Oh, 55 is a heck of a score.
That's right.
Man.
So thanks again for your support with Stevie Jay Broadcasting.
Watts Copy Systems offering cost-efficient solutions for busy offices. If you want a free evaluation, call Watts Copy Systems at 217-352-0428. Weather brought to you by Busey for over 150 years. Member FDIC. Here's meteorologist Greg Soye.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for Central Illinois, Champaign, and vicinity. Some classic mid-summertime heat and humidity, but nothing too extreme, out of control, and/or heat wave. Nothing like that. Matter of fact, is Debbie making landfall imminently, if she hasn't done so already, into the Big Bend area of Florida. Makes her way slowly up the eastern seaboard. Will buckle the jet stream on southward. That's a typical scenario for the Atlantic tropical basin, and bring about cooler, drier settling in from northwest to southeast. Oh, don't worry. Still lots of heat and humidity showing up mid to late portions of the month of August. Up to 92 today. We may bubble up a lone thunderstorm this afternoon. Down tonight to a buggy low of 73. A lone thunderstorm this evening. Tomorrow mostly sunny, hot, humid again with an isolated afternoon thunderstorm. The high around 90. Winds will turn northerly tomorrow. Night drop temperatures down to 65. Cooler, less humid sunshine. Wednesday high at 79. Back up to 82 on Thursday. 81 on Friday, and highs near 80 for the weekend. Enjoy it. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, meteorologist Greg Soye.
Back by popular demand in 2024, it's the Cardinals Belt Bag. On Sunday, August 18th, the Cardinals are going to host the Los Angeles Dodgers. And on that day, 25,000 fans ages 16 and older will take home an exclusive belt bag thanks to Phillips 66. That's Sunday, August 18th. The Cardinals, the Dodgers, and the popular Cardinals Belt Bag giveaway. Get your tickets today at cardinals.com/promotions.
This is Alec Burleson, St. Louis Cardinals for the Lou.
What is most important in your life? This is Starla Carr with Provident Financial Group. If you're launching a career, raising a family, planning for retirement, or creating a legacy, we can help. At Provident, we provide strategic thinking and perspective that help clients realize their goals. Contact us today at 217-366-3456 or find us online at providentfinancialgroupllc.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network. Member FINRA SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
And then there was Diane Ducey giving out extra food from the Special Olympics golf outing and taking it to our friends at the police and jail.
That's right.
Well, they had to know it was Diane Ducey bringing it to make sure it's good.
Yes.
And but they and there's extra food, huh?
Yeah, there were like 5 different pans, and because of the law enforcement torch run and so much support from the police for our area Special Olympic athletes, that's why it was a natural fit to try to reach out to them.
Well, they had to like that.
Text some friends.
I mean, who wouldn't
the
like
break room was popping,
yeah.
Stevie.
Where'd you get all the Tupperware?
I mean, I had to drop by the Dollar Tree over by Schnucks and Savoy. And,
Stevie Jay Broadcasting would like to reimburse you for that, so we'll pay for that.
$17, I'll take
well, that's
that.
not bad. $17 for all the Tupperware.
Yeah,
Dollar Tree.
It's like $1.25 to get these things of 3, and I got like 5 of those, so people could dish it up and take it home after they got done with their line. And it was great to see the inside break room at the University of Illinois Police Department and the Champaign County Jail. So luckily, I have some friends that are in those places, that
so they could trust it.
Able to negotiate that ahead.
What
of
way
time.
to not waste food now?
That's right.
All right, remind me.
The people with Roadshow Catering was like, "This is too much. We can't take all this home."
And they deal with it all the time. So they just don't want to.
That's right.
And, they got to make sure it doesn't get spoiled and all that other stuff. Anyway, good work.
Thank you.
Oh, $18.
Okay, no problem.
Right, for the Tupperware for our police.
A really fun weekend streetscape was Street
Downtown
Fest was
Champaign.
so much fun.
Yeah.
That brass band that they had, it was just a really good scene in downtown Champaign. Thank you to the Champaign Center Partnership for coordinating that.
All right, another hour to go. You're always welcome to jump in on the program. We're talking about the cost of food and how much it costs to go buy sandwich material, which I did bright and early this morning, and spent $21 on bread, pack of Swiss cheese, a little turkey, and mayonnaise. I think it put me over the top.
Yeah, that's right.
Probably shouldn't have done the $8 mayonnaise.
But people were chiming in on going through a drive-through and paying $18 for
aren't you
a
McDonald's?
meal.
You're paying a lot more.
I know it.
I mean, is there a dollar menu anymore?
They've got a $5 meal deal, but you only can get select things.
Yeah.
And a medium drink.
Well, it's 217-359-2255 on the Fisher National Bank text line. If you have any experiences like that.
Well, and I was chiming in about back-to-school registration. How much is that setting you back? So
well, you said $700. That can't be per child.
It's got to be for the whole family.
Well, I don't know, though. You didn't say family.
Right.
It totally could be. I mean, what it is. It's what it is.
I thought it was like $200 a person.
Well, it used to be. Okay, we got the news next. We'll be talking to you here in a few moments after that. News, weather, sports, all just ahead. It is Monday. It is 8 o'clock. You're listening to WSJK ESPN 93.5 Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana, your home for the St. Louis Cardinals.
It could be a rough day at the stock market. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. The opening bell could ring in a huge sell-off. Dow futures down well over 1,000 points on top of Friday's big losses that's triggered a worldwide sell-off. Japan's Nikkei plunged 12% overnight.
Behind all of this, fears of recession stoked by a poor employment report Friday, not expected, shocked investors. On top of that, large consumer product companies are reporting that folks out there, consumers, are weakening in their spending.
Fox Business Network's Jerry Willis. Hurricane Debbie is hitting Florida. The eye came ashore in the Big Bend area about 2 hours ago.
It has simmered down a little bit here in the past 15 minutes, but the past, I'd say, hour or so, we've had some of those heaviest whips from Debbie as it made landfall south of us.
Fox Weather's Robert Ray in Perry, Florida. There are more than 200,000 power outages, but the bigger concern is all the rain. With Debbie forecast to slow down, Governor Ron DeSantis just said,
"This storm has produced and will likely produce significant flooding events from Sarasota, Bradenton area all the way up to northern Florida."
We could have the same flooding problems in Georgia and South Carolina. Some areas could get 2 feet of rain. Vice President Harris is on the verge of picking her running mates.
Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro, and Arizona Senator Mark Kelly met with Vice President Harris in Washington over the weekend. Whoever the vice president picks, the two are expected to appear together at a rally in Philadelphia tomorrow before embarking on a nationwide battleground state blitz.
Fox's Ryan Schmelz on the Republican side. Trump running mate J.D. Vance tells Fox,
"I don't really care who she chooses as a running mate. It's not going to be good for the country."
An Olympic update. U.S. gymnast Simone Biles, who's won 3 golds in Paris, did not medal today on the balance beam, finishing 5th after a fall. America's listening to Fox.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues? Who are you? Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Hey, Donald Trump Jr. here. Central banks are buying gold at record amounts, and the trend is accelerating in 2024. They see the writing on the wall. The dollar is failing. Is gold the answer for you too? To find out, get a free info kit from Birch Gold Group by texting the word SHELTER to 989898. That's SHELTER to the number 989898 to get your free info kit from Birch Gold, the only gold company I trust, right now.
Message and data rates may apply.
While we and the Trump-Vance Republican presidential ticket await Vice President Harris's choice for a running mate, an independent running for president, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., is making news for admitting he did something 10 years ago that's kind of a head-scratcher. A prank he pulled involving a dead bear cub.
In an interview with Roseanne Barr, the independent presidential candidate says it happened in 2014 when he was driving to a falconry excursion. The woman's car that he was driving behind hit a young bear, killing it. Kennedy says he collected the carcass for its meat, but ultimately decided instead to dispose of it in New York City's Central Park with some friends before placing a bicycle on top of it. He says the event will be included in an upcoming article in The New Yorker, and he expects the piece to be damaging to his campaign. Ted Lindner, Fox News.
Days after President Biden proposed major Supreme Court reform as he and Democrats rail against a conservative-leaning majority, one of the 3 Trump-appointed justices reacts.
Many say recent Supreme Court decisions show bias, leading the president and others to propose term limits on justices and a mandatory code of ethics. Asked about that on Fox News Sunday, Justice Gorsuch said it wouldn't be helpful to get into a political issue during a presidential election year, but then he talked about the importance of an independent judiciary.
It's there for the moments when the spotlight's on you, when the government's coming after you. And don't you want a ferociously independent judge?
And then adding,
so I just say, be careful.
Ron Stern, Fox News.
And Justice Neil Gorsuch has a book out tomorrow in it. He asserts Americans are getting whacked by too many laws and regulations. Again, our top story, the opening bell may ring in a massive stock market sell-off in addition to futures down. Price of oil's falling $1, hitting an 8-month low. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. Governor signing a proposal into law Friday helping families put leftover college savings funds into retirement plans. The treasurer and state lawmakers told reporters in March that families who don't use all the money in their college savings accounts could put them into a Roth IRA. It allows tax and penalty-free rollovers from college savings plans to retirement plans. Well, Ford County coroner confirming identities of 2 killed in a head-on crash last week. 44-year-old Jacob Pitzkowitz of Paxton and 58-year-old Chris Perry of Houston, Texas. Pitzkowitz was the vice president of information technology and operations at the Federal Community Bank in Paxton. He also served in the Paxton Park District. City of Champaign hosting a community gun violence response meeting this week after several people hurt in shootings the past 2 weeks. Police Chief Tim Tyler addressing the media, urging the community to avoid pop-up parties after the recent shootings. Meeting takes place 4 to 5:30 at the Garden Hills Academy. You're up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Right, so Hurricane Debbie has been on land for a number of hours now. Our meteorologist Greg Soye, we mentioned, Greg, you said 2 feet of snow, so I did the calculations. That's like 20 inches of, no, it's like 2 feet, 20 feet of snow.
10 to 1. So
20 feet of snow.
240 inches.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
So what would you do? We can't handle a foot of snow. What, 20 feet? So this is a massive flood. If it comes down in the same area, so this is going to be, the water's going to be the biggest damage, I would think.
Yeah, water related. It's a storm surge, and that made its way into the Big Bend area south to Tampa. Remember, the clockwise or counterclockwise spin around a low and a tropical cyclone, so that's sloshing the water up on the western side and more so up into that Big Bend area. And then this thing's going to come to kind of a screeching halt. It's going to meander through southern Georgia. Maybe I'll make a right turn and go out into the coastal waters of Georgia. Maybe I'm going to go up towards maybe Myrtle Beach, and then maybe I'll try to go back inland, and then I'm going to go slowly up the I-95 corridor. Probably going to take about 7 or 8 days to accomplish that. So you have tropical downpours, a saturated atmosphere to say the least, and a slow movement. So that's why there's the terms like catastrophic and historic flooding and rainfall totals are getting ballyhooed down there in southern Georgia, the eastern Carolinas, and parts of northern Florida this morning.
My dear friend Doey Gordon and her daughter had a 2-week trip to Tampa. They canceled the whole thing. That's too bad.
I'm trying to remember the storm that came through there a couple years ago as well was far more vigorous and destructive. That did the same thing there and Sanibel Island and north from there and Fort Myers and all that. So, these things, it's that time of the year down there, unfortunately.
Meteorologist Greg Soye, brought to you by State Farm Insurance. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Kurt Lenschow, your local State Farm agent, standing by to help you. 8:08, meteorologist Greg Soye with looking around here, so we won't get any remnants from any of that, but we'll be kind of warm, but not crazy hot, nothing like that.
Yeah, a couple of days of heat and humidity, but it's I don't know, 100 miles away, whatever, and there is still an influence on the weather pattern here. Typically, when you run these systems up the eastern seaboard, and if it corresponds to a timing of some cool air on the move, sometimes it's cold air as we get into autumn around here. You can tug that jet stream southward, but that typically quickly then picks these tropical systems up and accelerates them north and northeastward. Not necessarily the case on that speed, but around here we will get into cooler, drier Canadian air with a couple of fronts to come through the area. Don't worry, if you're looking for summertime, mid-summertime humidity, it's due in here right around beginning around the 13th, 14th, and 15th of August, and from there onwards and upwards. And no big moisture as well. We're pretty much done with it. Although this morning, some pretty strong storms and severe weather warnings are up through Cook County, so Chicagoland area, Will County, and across into southern areas of lower Michigan. In the meantime, 77 muggy degrees at Willard and Savoy, dew point 73, 75 at Danville, 70 at Rantoul, 92 today. That's typical for a midsummer days of heat and humidity. An isolated shower thunderstorm probably north of Champaign this afternoon and this evening. Low down to 73. Tomorrow mostly sunny, hot, humid, 90. Again, an isolated thunderstorm in the afternoon, but that's in a cold front that'll turn the winds northerly. 65 tomorrow night and a refreshing day on Wednesday. Sunshine 79, 82 on Thursday. We'll hover near 80. Low humidity, pleasant overnight lows Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solga.
All right, buddy. Thanks. 8:10. All right, so football starts in 25 days, 24 days, 29th, or it's the 5th. 24 days. I'm talking about 3 weeks from Saturday. Nope.
Wait, it's a Thursday night game at 8 o'clock.
Only football game on TV, that's why we're doing it.
That's right.
So the theory is...
Taking on EIU August 29th.
And we'll get the best game in their life from an Eastern. Very capable program, of course, we know that. So we'll see. It's Thursday night game. It's 8 o'clock, so you got to take a little time from work, or the tailgate is going to be muted, but you still do the traffic the same? I don't have any idea. We'll deal with it when we get there.
I should look into that, though. And really, we had mentioned as soon as we hit August, we're starting to see more U-Hauls, more of the, especially around the fringe of campus, that are people that are moving into their own apartments. They're coming in. And
went to Costco over the weekend.
Okay.
I would like to have the gross receipts for one day.
Right.
From Costco. I'll take a Tuesday. But I'd rather have a Saturday.
I heard at least 3 different languages in the Savoy Walmart with parents that were walking around with their students.
I think a lot of the internationals are coming back now, but this next weekend will be gigantic. The following weekend will be the weekend.
Right.
That you're supposed to move in now, but it's great. It's what we thrive on. It's what makes us vibrant and diversified and all these other great things. And we get, 50,000 students, bright beaming faces, quad day and all of that.
Right.
But man, oh man, you want to go. And the guy at the checkout told me, he said, well, next weekend's going to be nuts. I said, well, what is it now?
I know.
It's just, and it's just the amount of food you stock up because you're not bringing. So you have to go get everything, and they're getting sticker shock at the checkout too.
That's right.
So that's all part of that. How about the basketball team? There are 18 teams now in our Big Ten.
Okay.
We're going to rename it. Anyway, there's 18 teams. Illinois is picked where? Where are we picked to finish? Anybody? Do you see that?
I feel like I saw 13.
That's football.
Okay.
Thank you. That's basketball. What? We are picked 8th.
8. Okay.
And you're going, what? I thought we had, but they're not coming back.
Right.
They value returning people. We have Dre Gibbs Lawhorn and Ty Rogers as our only returnees from Elite 8 team. Do we have a Terrence Shannon? That's going to be hard. But how about this Kazmaris? Call him KJ.
Okay.
He just played in the 18U.
Yakachonis.
Very good. Sounds right. Kazmaris Yakachovich got a silver medal in the 18 under. Led his team to 37 points in the last game.
Whoa.
I think that could be maybe the NBA guy we've been talking about. Will Riley.
Okay.
Super talented. Will Riley doesn't weigh a buck and a half, does he? $170. I mean, he's really thin, but he's really talented. This is what I'm getting inside practice.
Tomislav Ivicic.
Looks like a big man that's going to be very good, but how does it come together? Brad, that's what he does. Brad Underwood, I think, is very good at the puzzles. So he's got some talent, but can they play together? Can they hang out, like each other, like last year's team was pretty close? The great teams are always close. The 05 team they were just buddies, on and off the court. And that certainly is a huge key to having a really, really good, successful team, I think, is they like each other.
So November 28th, Arkansas.
Is that their first game? Has to be earlier than
That's
that.
the non-conference schedule. It
Well,
says
I think
Kansas City, Missouri.
Yeah, I don't think
that one.
we got in. I think we started a little earlier. I don't think it's been announced.
Okay.
Like we got to have some November basketball earlier than that, I think. Anyway, it'll be exhibition. There'll be an exhibition, and I don't think there's anything Kansas going on like we did last year. But that was kind of fun.
Right. We've got Missouri. That bragging rights game in St. Louis will be December 22nd.
Yeah, Missouri drafted a whole new team.
Mm-hmm.
I say drafted facetiously, but they got all new players. And they're going to be a lot better than they were last year when we won by like 30. And the coach of Missouri said that's a Final Four team. Close.
Yeah.
He was close.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I think the basketball is obviously catching our attention. But again, will you be there at the first game? I think we all will. Who's that? Was that him?
Right.
Because we don't have any idea who these people are.
Right.
And I think
we need pictures, numbers, and, the name.
Yeah. No,
and then the pronunciation of the name.
We'll be learning with Brad Underwood. He has a little head start in the summer.
Little flashcards.
Yeah, exactly. Who's that? I don't know. Ty Rogers. No.
Like I said, my new invention. I don't know. Maybe I should take it up with the guys at Campus Inc. or something on the Velcro on the back of the jersey.
Yeah, just take
and
the
really
Velcro
the numbers
off.
too. You could take
Keep
those
the same jersey next year. Just put a Velcro name on it. That's what we're into. 8:15. Check your sports headlines.
Cubs over St. Louis 6-2, so they took 3 out of 4.
I wish it mattered more. It just doesn't feel, but it's great.
We're
'cause
just
they gained
neck and
2
neck
games.
for the wild card then.
Not with the Cardinals yet.
Cardinals are in it.
No. The Cardinals aren't even in it anymore. No. But both teams right now, the Cubs got 2 games. They jumped 2 games in the standings to get closer. But they've also they were 13.5 out. Now they're 9.5 out, and they're only I think 6 out from a wild card. But there's a lot of teams involved. There's only about 8 or 9 teams that aren't in the playoff hunt. The new structure has given teams hope through the year, which I think is great. If you can talk about the Cubs and Cardinals being a playoff team, that's fun.
Mm-hmm.
And again, hot beats better. That's my theory.
Mm-hmm.
You got to get so hot because you're not going to be better. These teams are just okay this year. That's just the way it is. But Cubs can play well, and they haven't played well. So maybe the Cubs are due to get hot because they've been cold for 3 months. They started out real well with Craig Counsell, their new manager, and took the Cardinals 3 out of 4, and they probably shouldn't have won. Cardinals probably shouldn't have won Saturday. They had a good comeback.
Yeah, that's right.
Anyway, a darn good weekend for Chicago. Now they've got to march forward and see how they can do with these other teams.
Minnesota Twins, 7:05 start, and Kyle Hendricks on the mound. New York Mets will be using Sean Manaea against Andre Palante at Busch.
Andre was at our Caravan.
Right.
Yeah.
4:15 start here on ESPN 93.5. And, of course, the Cubs are over on US 105.9. Chicago Bears on Q96.
Yep.
Need to keep mentioning that in our cluster also as representing the area sports that we'd love to watch. USA on top of the medal count with 72. Next up is China with 50, and France has 44.
I thought it used to be closer. We're dominating, really.
All right, now.
Medal count, I think China has 1 or 2 more golds. But we got all kinds of bronze and silver. So
Simone Biles slipped off the balance beam.
Yeah.
Hadn't seen that. I know Suni Lee got bronze for her bar work. So Noah Lyles with the 100 meter at 9.784, which was 0.5 of a second.
500 thousandths.
Yeah, 0.005 ahead of the Jamaican runner.
Yeah, it was 5,000ths of a second.
He just Noah had said after the race, I just felt like I needed to lean in. Well, you needed to lean in for sure.
It's like a photo. They couldn't tell.
Unbelievable.
It was 5,000ths. Remember Bonnie Blair won a gold by 200?
Yeah.
This is 5,000ths of a second.
Wow.
You can't go bup up, and that you'd have to check the computer if bup up is 5,000ths.
Uh-huh.
It's unbelievable. Hey, don't rely on the classroom, parents. Talk to your kids about money. They'll be heading off to college if they haven't already. Talk about credit, the effect that credit cards have.
Money's not free.
Open an account in their name at your bank, making transfers easier. Explain the importance of keeping private information private. They go to these coffee houses sometimes, and they're not very private for their passwords and stuff. Budget. You got $500 a month to spend on everything or whatever it is. Mobile and online services. Busey has it. You got the mobile app where you view balances, transfer funds, pay bills right on your phone, safely. Busey eBank, control, monitor finances with this online banking system. And Busey bill payment, you can see and pay all of your bills online. Busey understands the demands of back to school. Simplify your finances with their mobile and online services, and educational resources. Visit Busey.com. Call 800-67-BUSEY. Stop by one of their many convenient locations today. They're over 155 years old now. 1868. They started a year after the University of Illinois. Busey, member FDIC. All right, A&R Mechanical is going to be a new sponsor.
Okay, great.
Jay Lehman Show. You know, next year A&R Mechanical celebrates their 100th year.
Really?
There's just not very many businesses that make 100.
That's awesome.
The secession stuff, all that. All right, ESPN 93.5. We check your weather with meteorologist Greg Solier at 8:19.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for you. Central Illinois, Champaign, and Penn vicinity. A couple of days of heat and humidity. Classic mid-summertime style. Nothing extreme and or out of control. Series of cool fronts up to the north and tropical system. That's Debbie making her way into the Big Bend area of Florida. Probably as a Cat 1 hurricane. A slow northward climb up the eastern seaboard. It'll take about 7 days to accomplish. There may be a couple of feet of rain into parts of the southeast over the next several days, but around here that'll buckle the jet stream on southward, that tropical feature, and bring about a cooler, drier air mass here for the mid and late portions of the week. Don't worry, still lots of heat showing up here by the mid-stretch of August. Up to 92 today, may bubble up a stray afternoon thunderstorm. That'll maybe linger this evening. A muggy low of 73. Hot, humid tomorrow at 90. Again, an isolated afternoon thunderstorm. Winds turn northerly tomorrow night, low down to 65. Sunshine, cooler, 79 on Wednesday, upper 70s and low 80s for Thursday through Sunday. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier.
I'm Liz Clayman, and this is the Fox Business Report. There's a global market sell-off. Stock futures are skidding, with traders speculating the global economy could be heading into recession after the July employment report came in with weaker growth. Chicago Fed President Alston Goolsbee is speaking again today. He said on Friday the Fed never wants to overreact to any 1 month's numbers. San Francisco Fed President Mary Daly also speaks today. Cryptocurrencies are selling off with stocks. Bitcoin is trading under $52,000 this morning. Tyson Foods shares up more than 1%. Its quarter came in better than expected as it reported success on its work to turn around the company. It was selling more beef and pork. Tyson made a profit after losing money a year ago. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosola. Invested in you.
Get all of your favorite Fox News podcasts commercial-free on Apple Podcasts with Fox News Podcasts Plus. From Dana Perino, Kennedy, Ben Domenech, The Duffys, and many more. Subscribe now by going to foxnewspodcasts.com. The Fox News Rundown, a contrast of perspectives you won't hear anywhere else. Your daily dose of news twice a day, featuring insight from top newsmakers, reporters, and Fox News contributors. Listen and subscribe now by going to foxnewspodcasts.com.
At ABC Heating and Air, it's our promise to help you always be comfortable. Do you need rescued because you're burning hot? Do you need rescued because your air is shot? Call ABC Heating and Air at 352-5400 and let us rescue you from the heat. ABC Heating and Air, 352-5400. Can't you see you need to call me at ABC? Call ABC Heating and Air. That's ABC Heating and Air, 352-5400.
Tapman's Towing, team of experienced tow professionals, is seeking others with CDLs, previous tow experience, and or strong interest in serving others. Please visit our career page at tapmanstowing.com.
This is Starla Carr with Provident Financial Group. There's no one-size-fits-all retirement plan. Finding the right plan for you depends on many factors. The good news is we can help you improve your retirement readiness, whatever your situation. Contact us today at 217-366-3456 or find us online at providentfinancialgroupllc.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network. Member FINRA SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
Find the look you love for less at Kelsey Furniture in Tuscola. Explore their wide selection of quality pieces, from cozy sofas to exquisite dining sets from all the top name brands. With personalized service and expert advice, their team makes finding the perfect piece effortless. Create the home of your dreams with Kelsey Furniture in Tuscola. Exceptional customer service and the best prices since 1959. Stop by today or visit them online at kelseyfurniture.com.
All right, right, boys and girls, moms and dads, go back in your homes. It's okay. The stock market is down over 1,000. It's, I mean, if you look at history, the thing goes up and then it kind of goes down, then it kind of goes up. It hasn't gone down in a while. I mean, we were hanging around 30,000. People were freaking out. That's amazing. Then it went to 42,000. I remember vividly when the Dow was like 3,000. So everything, historically, it just does this. And so is this going to be the start of something, 20% correction to be down to 30 or 32,000? It's still not bad. Back in the days 2015, it went down to 18,000 and then called it the Trump bump. He got elected and then the thing went back to 25 and then 30. The stock market goes up and down. It hasn't gone down a minute. So
Japan's had a bad day.
Huge. Well, they were down 2.8%. We're down 2.79%.
Hadn't been that bad since 1987 in their Black Monday crash, it says here.
Yeah, we had that too.
European sharing near 6-month lows, it also says on this story.
Yeah.
So everybody's dipping right now.
Well, that's right. But again, you don't lose a penny until you sell it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's riding the storm out.
Hold.
Right. All these brokers have got to talk their people down.
Mm-hmm.
Easy now. Easy. It's okay.
That's right.
We got a lot of, but then if you're up and you want to take some profit, that causes more people to sell. But yeah, you don't want panic and all of that stuff, but
it says here Buffett dumps Apple.
yeah, big dump by Warren Buffett. I don't know exactly. I never know what those things mean.
Okay.
But certainly, no, the market's going to probably take a hit. At some point, it's going down 20 or 30%. Maybe this is the run. I don't know. But I don't think it's anything to worry about long term. But then every time it happens, we're all dead. The sky's falling. All our wealth is gone completely by tomorrow. That's a bad feeling, thinking you're going to lose a couple $100,000.
I know that.
So
I had a friend that used to work in the stock market, and the one up in Chicago, and was telling me, if your hand's out, you're selling, and if you're pulling in and you're making the signals, you're buying, and it was just fascinating.
No idea how that works.
Watching all of that in the pit and all of the negotiations that were happening. I thought I wanted to do it. But it was mainly because it was like 10-to-1 girls to guys.
I see. You just wanted to show them.
A lot of guys down there, and that seemed like my kind of scene.
Shout out to Jim Gesso.
Okay.
Great guy. He says, Diane, you do such a great job. He listens to us every morning.
Awesome. Thank you for that.
He's a great veteran, retired now. Jim's great. And Barb Barker had her 80th birthday party.
I saw that.
And we really enjoyed it. It was over in Mahomet, and she had so many teacher friends because she was a teacher for so long.
Was it a surprise?
Yeah, it was a surprise party.
That's awesome.
And downtown Mahomet, Maine is one big construction site right now. They're trying to get all that thing going. But we made our way in to wherever it was on Main Street and just saw so many friends. I saw Mary Henson. Mary Henson looks the same.
I know.
I mean, she's just incredible. We all miss Lou, but boy, it was always Lou and Mary. Mm-hmm. And Mary Henson is a gem. But
Last
really
time I talked to her was in the parking lot for the Crisis Nursery, Blue Tie Gala benefit that was happening. And she was one of the first to park, but she was splitting that line, that yellow line, instead of being on one side or the other. And then,
hey, I'm kind of in a...
When her friend got out, she's like, "You better repark, man." And she did. She got in.
I got to admit, I'm in a little slump on the yellow lines. I used to be great at that, and for whatever reason, I have to look.
It's true.
What's up with what's happening?
I was taking a class to enhance my ability to be more of an advocate for those with disabilities with community choices, and I had to parallel park at least twice last week.
It's a challenge if you don't do it much.
And, keep plugging the meter, although there is an app now for downtown Champaign, but I know they are on it. So I'm set my alarm to go feed the meter and tiptoe out of the
quarter
class.
For 20 minutes, I think.
It is.
Yeah.
But, I was feeding the maximum of 2 hours because this was a 5-hour course I was taking. So, but it was interesting doing my parallel parking skills.
Good for you if you got her done.
And I'm pretty good at it. I don't have any cameras or anything. My vehicle's older.
I'm telling you get spoiled with cameras. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, without that, that's even more impressive. Yeah. Parallel parking is just practicing. But it's scary. In Chicago, where Nathaniel and Allison live. I mean, you got to be a pro. I mean, I saw Allison park a car once, and she had literally an inch on each side.
Yep.
An inch?
I have done it before also.
That's nuts.
And it was because of my Chicago working the weekends for about a year or so up in Chicago that I got so good at parallel parking, and quickly too, because they aren't messing around, zipping around you when you're trying to park. They don't show you any grace.
8:28, break for the news, another half hour. If you missed our interview with Trey Yingst about an hour ago, we talked to this. I think he's the top guy going when it comes to Israel and what's happening there. That they are bracing for an attack from Iran through Hezbollah and Hamas. They think maybe even two-pronged. They said it's an absolute certainty that's happening. So we got the very latest on the ground from Haifa, Israel, and I'm going to play just a clip from that if you missed that in the last hour, but it's fascinating. We'll do that coming up next. It's Monday, August 5. We have a Stever. It is from Long Branch Steakhouse in Gifford.
Oh, what a treat.
I will give you $50 if you'll go eat there in the next 7 days. And you can go, and 50 is not going to cover steak for two, but it sure gets you a long way there.
Long Branch Steakhouse, 310 South Main Street in Gifford.
If you want these, go to GoStever.com. We're looking for first-time winners, people that have never gone to Long Branch. Just let me get to some of the people that keep trying every month and never win, because so many of you try. So nobody that has won this before can win this particular prize from Long Branch in Gifford. So GoStever.com, GoStever.com. You get an email after 8 tonight. And we give you about 7 days to get in there. They're open Wednesday through Saturday from 5 till 9.
That's right, Wednesday and Thursday. I love to get the shish kebabs that they offer.
They got great. And you guys like the filet. I kind of like the ribeye. All right, GoStever.com for your chance at $50 to go eat there. All right, news next. It is now 8:30 in Champaign-Urbana.
Ow! A spring just hit me.
Mom, the couch is broken again.
It's about time we get rid of that clunky couch and look into buying a new one.
What about two men in a junk truck? Their professional moving team does a great job assisting with downsizing, home renovations, and clearing out old items you need hauled away.
Wow, it sounds like it'll make much more space in this house once the couch is hauled away.
I just pulled it up on my phone. You can schedule an appointment online at twomeninajuncktruck.com.
I'm Chris Foster. Hurricane Debbie's made landfall in Florida. Governor Ron DeSantis.
This storm has produced and will likely produce significant flooding events from Sarasota, Bradenton area all the way up to northern Florida.
And the storm is expected to stall over Georgia and South Carolina next, with flooding from potentially record-breaking rain in the forecast. President Biden meets with his national security team today about an expected attack by Iran against Israel.
The Wall Street Journal reports that Iran told U.S. and Arab diplomats it didn't care if its counterstrike led to war. Now, Jordan's foreign minister was in Iran yesterday for a meeting, and President Biden is scheduled to speak with Jordanian King Abdullah II, but there's been very little public Iranian interaction with those trying to avert a crisis.
Fox's Trey Yingst in Haifa, Israel. America's listening to Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. Well, Ford County coroner confirming identities of two killed in a head-on crash last week. 44-year-old Jacob Pitzkowitz of Paxton and 58-year-old Chris Perry of Houston, Texas. Pitzkowitz was the vice president of information technology and operations at the Federal Community Bank in Paxton. He also served in the Paxton Park District. City of Champaign hosting a community gun violence response meeting this week after several people hurt in shootings the past 2 weeks. Police Chief Tim Tyler addressing the media, urging the community to avoid pop-up parties after the recent shootings. Meeting takes place 4 to 5:30 at the Garden Hills Academy. Governor signing a proposal into law Friday, helping families put leftover college savings funds into retirement plans. The treasurer and state lawmakers told reporters in March that families who don't use all the money in their college savings accounts could put them into a Roth IRA. It allows tax and penalty-free rollovers from college savings plans to retirement plans. You're up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Look at everyone. Let's check weather for you. Central Illinois, Champaign, and vicinity. Couple of days of heat and humidity. Classic mid-summertime style. Nothing extreme and or out of control. Series of cool fronts up to the north and tropical system. That's Debbie making her way into the Big Bend area of Florida. Probably as a Cat 1 hurricane. A slow northward climb up the eastern seaboard. It'll take about 7 days to accomplish. There may be a couple of feet of rain into parts of the southeast over the next several days. But around here, that'll buckle the jet stream on southward, that tropical feature, and bring about a cooler, drier air mass here for the mid and late portions of the week. Don't worry, still lots of heat showing up here by the mid-stretch of August. Up to 92 today, may bubble up a stray afternoon thunderstorm. That'll maybe linger this evening. A muggy low of 73. Hot, humid tomorrow at 90. Again, an isolated afternoon thunderstorm. Winds turn northerly tomorrow night, low down to 65. Sunshine, cooler, 79 on Wednesday. Upper 70s and low 80s for Thursday through Sunday. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier.
When you make the right decision, it feels good, like picking the perfect accent rug or choosing a good night's sleep over an all-night crime show binge. It feels really good to make the right insurance decision, too. That's why State Farm agent Kurt Lenschow is right here in Champaign-Urbana to help you select the right protection at the right price. Kurt will make sure you understand your State Farm coverages so you'll know what to expect if the unexpected happens. Just call him when you want the real deal. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Jesse with Lands Underground Solutions. When it comes to your septic system, trust the team at Lands Underground Solutions. Our septic specialists have been working in the septic industry, installing and repairing septics in Central Illinois for over 40 years. When it comes to your septic system, trust the team at Lands Underground for repairs, maintenance, or replacement of your septic. Lands Underground Solutions. Why call anyone else?
Tapman's Towing reminds all Illini fans, when you're on the road and see lights flashing, move over and use caution passing. Let's all get home safe tonight.
All right, ESPN 93.5. I'm Stevie Jay. There's Diane Ducey.
Good morning.
Final stretch of the program here for this Monday, August 5th. Kamala Harris expected to pick her VP choice today because they start their barnstorming tomorrow.
Absolutely.
So somebody's got to pack.
Mm-hmm.
They apparently interviewed everybody yesterday in contention. It was Mark Kelly, former astronaut and senator from Arizona.
Although he had some pushback comments, I think, on her flip-flopping on so many topics.
Well, he's either going to have to go left or she's going to have to allow a moderate because he's not a lefty.
Right.
I mean, not in the sense of progressive.
That's right.
So there's that. Josh Shapiro, governor of Pennsylvania, probably will win you the state, which is huge, but he's Jewish. So there's that. And then who's the other third? I can't remember. Was the Kentucky governor? I don't think he's too moderate, too. I don't know.
And not Gretchen Whitmer.
Maybe it was Gretchen Whitmer. I don't know. Anyway, she'll announce today. She has to announce at some point. And then we will see. But again, you just, I don't know if the president is far left, as Kamala Harris is, what do you do? You can't be a moderate out there. You have zero power to do anything.
Right.
And you kind of have to toe the line, don't you?
Right.
You don't get up and say, well, she is a lefty. Woo! I don't know why I'm here. What funeral am I going to this week?
Right,
you're just hanging out in case something happens to the president. It's kind of what you do.
Which is exactly what she has done.
Well, I think what you would ask Kamala, and I would just so focus on her. I would so focus on the policies of this administration. I wouldn't do anything else. In their own words, it'd be my campaign against Kamala and Joe. And I'd say, okay, what have you accomplished? I seriously, what has Kamala Harris, what has she done? And I'm very serious. Tell me something significant that she's done as vice president.
The first that came to mind was the border czar, but I forgot she's not the border czar.
They've disowned that.
They disowned that.
How dare you lie?
So let's erase everything from the past.
How dare you lie, you liar? So there's just well, how many things have any vice president done? Really, I mean, Mike Pence was kind of hanging out and doing most of the COVID.
Sure.
He did the COVID. He did a lot of that stuff early on. He was like the lead guy there. But I'm just saying that she said, I'll put my record against Donald Trump's. What record? That San Francisco went to HE double toothpicks? That California's a mess? Mm-hmm. That you let bad guys out of jail or didn't prosecute? And then where's your press conference? They are, I would, if they say, oh, she hasn't done a press conference, I'd tell them, listen, she's busy. I would never do that. Why? What was the point of an ad lib? She did something ad lib when Joe, poor Joe, did something ad lib with Joe standing by her when the hostages came off the plane at 11 at night. That's too late for Joe Biden. So Kamala said something, it's a word salad, but she wasn't on script. It was one of those passage of time moments where she's just repeated the main thing.
Right.
But Joe Biden at that thing, I'm just even hesitant to mention it. So the hostages come out of the plane.
This is recently.
This is like Friday.
Okay.
And Joe Biden, it's 11 at night, okay? It's just not a good time of the day. So he turns around and starts going to the plane and getting on the plane. That's the plane that brought them. He's not. That's not your plane, sir. But nobody stopped him. And it was sad. Eesh. That's your president. I want him to remain president, and I want Kamala to be an incumbent. So let's hang in there and do your team thing like you've been doing for years anyway.
Yeah.
8:39. Here we go. Trey Yingst, fine reporter, reporting on all of this in Israel, which could impact our lives here. If this thing spreads, it could be bad. Got our eyes on that. Got our prayers there. We don't want this to go nuts. I asked him, I said, okay, so Iran's going to hit Israel, then Israel probably hit Iran. I mean, he said, how does this end? What's new? I mean, it's just going to go back and forth. How does this end?
It's a great question. And the war inside Gaza, we should separate from all of this. While it did start the current tension and conflict that we're seeing across the region, it's not necessarily going to end it. If you asked me 3 months ago how this was all going to end, I would have told you that there would be a ceasefire in Gaza. Hamas would come to the table, the Israelis would come to the table, they would exchange hostages for Palestinian prisoners, and then ultimately there would be some sort of plan to de-escalate the situation across the region, because Hezbollah, at least on paper, says that's why they're involved in this fight. The point that we've reached now is really a point of no return. There will be an Iranian attack of some sort. There are very few options to have an off-ramp at this point in the conflict. The way that this ends now likely looks like an attack from Iran, possibly an Israeli counterattack. And if the initial Iranian response to all of this, and remember, this is an Iranian response to a suspected Israeli operation that killed the leader of Hamas, Ismail Haniyeh, in Tehran at the presidential inauguration for the country's new president. And so we back up and we think, okay, so how does all of this end? It likely ends with some exchange of fire between Israel and Iran. If that is calculated and it avoids hitting civilian infrastructure and no one dies and the Israelis intercept the majority of the incoming fire and then they strike back just to send a message, there may still be an off-ramp that involves Gaza and possibly a separate but linked agreement as it relates to Hezbollah in Lebanon. The alternative is that we're looking at a regional war here that unravels very quickly. You see thousands of rockets and missiles being fired into Israel, the Iranians launching attacks from their own soil, and then a conflict erupts before, as we see with all conflicts around the world, historically, eventually there will be a negotiated settlement. The question now is, does that settlement come in a matter of weeks, or does it come in a matter of months or even possibly years? And that's up in the air as we speak.
And I don't understand how anyone, if there are those that just simply want Israel not to exist, how can you possibly negotiate that if they want you dead? I don't get it.
It's very challenging, right? Because Israel is not negotiating with rational actors in all of this. And it's often, I think, one of the most challenging parts of our reporting and coverage of this story is that when we explain the terms of Hamas and Islamic Jihad inside Gaza or the terms of Hezbollah in southern Lebanon, they don't think with a Western mindset. They're much more willing to go to battle and die for what they believe is the correct reality of the Middle East. And that's quite challenging because the future of the region, as we know, especially living in 2024, is that Israelis will live here and Palestinians will live here. Neither group is going to be completely destroyed. We live in an information society now where the types of wars that were fought in the past don't exist today. It's too fresh. It's too able to be really discussed with the world. And so we're at a situation today where basically the Americans, and there are other parties involved like the Egyptians and the Qataris, act as middlemen, and they try to bring both sides to the table and find a deal or an agreement that works for both parties. So as that relates to the current situation, the Israelis, some officials want to get the hostages out of Gaza, and they want to end the war immediately. Others feel they need to continue to pressure Hamas in order to get the organization basically to give up. But that's a bit of a miscalculation in all of this because for many in Hamas, especially when you look at the military wing of the group, they're willing to die in battle against Israel. They don't care if they die. And so that's part of the negotiation. And then you have Hezbollah, which is an actor that's backed by Iran. So if the Iranians aren't at the table, then Hezbollah is not at the table. And that's exactly what we're faced with today.
All right, so Trey Yingst joined us last hour. The guy is so good at reporting. At the very end, I said, so guys your age, like 34 years old or whatever he is, I said, guys your age are usually playing a little fantasy football. He said, hey, if you love fantasy, go for it. This is what I love. He loves reporting, but I don't know of any other major network, anything else committing this kind of a ground game reporting, because we sure don't know much else. I haven't seen anybody else, NBC, CBS, ABC. If they're there, I haven't seen them. I mean, it's dangerous. Very dangerous, but that's where he wants to be. He says, I'm with 30-year guys. I'm with guys that have been doing this kind of war work for longer than I've been born. But he's an extraordinary reporter. He's heard on Fox, and he's doing a lot of live hits right now. In fact, he'll be on it all day because they think the attack might happen today. Okay, 8:44. We check your sports headlines and one more weather before we leave you today. Stand by. We do not have a sports show with The Drive this afternoon because the pop-up makeup that I forgot about, the Mets play in St. Louis because they got rained out earlier this year.
That's right.
So we got that going on the air at 3:20. First pitch at 4:15. Cardinal baseball. We'll see if the St. Louis Cardinals can recover from losing 3 out of 4 over the weekend to the Cubs. That all coming up next. Attention, all truck drivers looking for a new opportunity with great pay and amazing benefits. Gale Frericks Trucking has got you covered. Join their team, receive a $4,000 sign-on bonus. That's right, $4,000 just for coming on board. Plus, enjoy a $1,200 gross weekly pay guarantee. Drive their state-of-the-art Freightliner Cascadia trucks equipped with a revolutionary system designed to reduce weight and downtime. Get home every weekend and some nights during the week with paid vacations and holidays. They offer company-sponsored health insurance and all the benefits you deserve. Regional drivers get first priority. Don't wait. Apply in person at Dedicated Diesel, 1313 Triumph Drive, Urbana, or call Tim at 765-505-1295. That's 765-505-1295. Start your journey today with Gale Frericks Trucking.
Urbana Park District's tradition is back this summer with their free Neighborhood Nights concerts between 6:30 and 8 at a different park each week with a different band. I'm Diane Ducey, your MC from Stevie Jay Broadcasting. The Park District will take care of you with free popcorn, lemonade, and water. Meet different groups and friends. Enjoy the great music every Wednesday, 6:30 to 8 at different parks throughout the summer. Find out more about Neighborhood Nights at urbanaparks.org.
All right, check your sports headlines at 8:46.
Well, where should we start? Cubs over St. Louis 6-2. They took 3 out of 4 over the weekend, and now the Cubs will host the Minnesota Twins, and that's a 7:05 start. Kyle Hendricks on the mound.
Keep it going now. Don't go losing to Minnesota. Minnesota's a pretty good team, but Cubs are at home. You got to win that one. So
okay,
keep it going. Here we go.
And St. Louis has a game against the New York Mets at Busch.
Mets have passed the Cubs. Passed the Cubs and passed the Cardinals for the wild card. Mets are playing very good baseball. Swept the Yankees a couple of weeks ago. So
this would be a solid win for the Cardinals.
Oh, yeah, if you get a win, it'd be awesome. Cardinals are just pretty average, but they're better than last year, that's for sure.
Andre Palante to the mound. He was part of our Cardinal caravan at one point.
Last January.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he was here. I said, you're working on a pitch. I've seen you on YouTube. He says, yeah, always trying to get better.
All righty. So 3:20 is the pregame, and 4:15 the first pitch against the New York Mets from Busch here on ESPN 93.5. Minnesota over the Chicago White Sox 13-7. That makes it 20 losses in a row.
Unbelievable. What's the record, I wonder? That has got to be close. 20 losses in a row.
Are at 8:40 tonight against the Oakland A's.
Well, then they traded their best players. The best guys they had that gave them a chance to win.
I know.
So it's really a AAA team playing big league baseball.
Is.
So
too bad. Man, that would be... bad news bears style when you're
well, who's
just
going?
not winning.
Who is at Sox Park?
I mean, that might be a fun little road trip. If you want to check out a game.
If the Cardinals go there, the Cubs go. You go watch your team.
There you go.
Who do the White Sox have? I'm very
know.
serious. Do the White Sox have 1,000 people that will go cheer them on every day?
I wouldn't think so. I feel like it might be a few hundred.
I was at Home Depot and the guy said, I'm done with the Sox. I'm done with it. He's a massive fan.
Yeah.
Anyway, tough.
Yeah, that's true. So we also have Illinois women's basketball on a foreign trip now, and they beat Italy 67-65 yesterday. Next up, they'll be playing on Friday, but they're taking a trip to Naples and Florence. They learned how to make pizza. They had a bike tour. It sounds totally fun.
Little classes that you learn how to. We did that. It's just so fun.
Yeah.
Because they really teach you, and then you get to eat it.
Yeah.
So they had a blast, and this is a bonding deal. And remember, they won the first WNIT, right?
I know it.
So this team's coming off a win.
And you can keep supporting Shauna Green, Diamonds, Desserts, and Distinction. It's happening on August 22nd. Just get your girlpower.com as you support local Girl Scouts and being a part of that and being in there that night. That'll be awesome. When it comes to the Olympics, a lot of the trends are on Scotty Scheffler right now. And I guess there was a moment where he was really moved when he heard the national anthem and
crying.
Turned into a blubbering baby.
Just crying. So touching. He loves his country. He won the gold. He has shot a 29 in the back. That's 6 under in the back alone.
Mm-hmm.
Shot a 62 to come out of 4 or 5 shots down that day. John Rahm had a 3-shot lead heading to the back 9 and finished with a 39.
Right.
So anyway, it's
America leads 72 medals. China's next with 50, and France has 44. So go Team USA.
Yep, another, a week? Do we have another week?
It's over the 11th. So that's Sunday, isn't it?
Yeah. So closing ceremonies be, are we getting kind of tired?
No.
I kind of am.
It's fascinating.
Is it? I mean, it was really fun, but then there's so many gymnastics and swimming.
There is.
But after that, it's track and field, and it's like, okay, somebody ran 10 seconds. What'd they do? Who are they? It's different.
You're right.
It's just different. You watch these really thin people run really, really fast. It's amazing. They're very muscular.
Mm-hmm.
But could anybody name any sprinter that the USA has? Anybody? And the answer is no.
I mean, now it's Noah Lyles who got the 100-meter gold with 9.784. And beat the guy from Jamaica by 0.005
5
seconds.
thousandths of a second. I've never heard of that.
Right.
I've never, ever heard of that.
But I only know the name because it's right here in front of me.
Oh, yeah.
So it says bringing some swagger back. We've got movie night at Memorial Stadium on the 10th. If you want to catch Kung Fu Panda 4, that'll start at 7 o'clock from 5:30 to 6:30. They'll have the autographs at Memorial Stadium. You're welcomed by Busey, all the athletes out there. Should be a lot of fun.
Can you make any mistake watching a Kung Fu Panda movie?
Absolutely.
I don't think you can. It's just all good. All right, ESPN 93.5, Mr. Greg Soya one more time at 8:51.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for Central Illinois, Champaign, and and vicinity. Some classic mid-summertime heat and humidity, but nothing too extreme, out of control, and/or heat wave. Nothing like that. Matter of fact, is Debbie making landfall imminently, if she hasn't done so already, into the Big Bend area of Florida. Makes her way slowly up the eastern seaboard. Will buckle a jet stream on southward. That's a typical scenario for the Atlantic tropical basin, and bring about cooler, drier air settling in from northwest to southeast. Oh, don't worry. Still lots of heat and humidity showing up mid to late portions of the month of August. Up to 92 today. We may bubble up a lone thunderstorm this afternoon. Down tonight to a buggy low of 73. A lone thunderstorm this evening. Tomorrow mostly sunny, hot, humid again with an isolated afternoon thunderstorm. The high around 90. Winds will turn northerly tomorrow. Night drop temperatures down to 65. Cooler, less humid sunshine. Wednesday high at 79. Back up to 82 on Thursday. 81 on Friday and highs near 80 for the weekend. Enjoy it. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting at Peter Ultras, Greg Solier.
Very happy and honored to have Dr. Abraham Kocherel, cardiac electrophysiology, OSF, Heart of Mary in Urbana. What is AFib?
Yeah, so atrial fibrillation is a heart rhythm disorder, and it's actually the most common heart rhythm disorder that needs treatment. So about 6 million Americans have it currently, and it's expected to increase to about 15 million by 2050. So it's a growing problem. There are lots of things that lead to atrial fibrillation, and this includes diseases like diabetes and hypertension, sleep apnea. Other factors that lead to it are an excessive alcohol and tobacco use, being overweight or obese, and being sedentary. Generally it's an older person's disease. Generally Additionally, if you have other heart conditions, it's worth looking for so that there's a condition called heart failure, which commonly is associated with atrial fibrillation. So hopefully, if you have one of those conditions, those patients are being seen by a cardiologist, and that cardiologist is paying attention to the heart rhythm and keeping an eye on things to look for the development of atrial fibrillation.
To learn more, visit osfhealthcare.org.
All right, we touched a lot of bases here on the program today. You can always podcast, go back if you want. But we're pretty much now, it happened. Kind of focused on school now.
Yeah, we are. And it's as soon as we turn the calendar over to August. I'd like to say we wait a couple of weeks, but
after 4th of July,
it's game on. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
And, that's what we got. So we're going to embrace it. The students are moving back. And I kind of like the fact that the apartments and things like that are going now. And then
I drove down Green Street over the weekend. It was fine. Mm-hmm. Well, I don't want to get into it. I'm not there yet. But if I drove down 4th headed to CrossFit today, I'm sure it would be more. I don't know if the blinking red lights are still on.
They are.
Okay.
When I crossed through campus over the weekend.
But it's now Monday. Maybe they're back.
You're right.
Anyway, at some point, it's like you don't go to campus because it's just, townies here, we just know. It's too crowded, and too many people, and crosswalks and everything else.
I picked up a white shelf unit that's really nice. Mike said, "Why do you pull the van over again?" I'm like, "It's perfectly good. It was next to the
Did you need
garbage."
it?
No.
Okay.
In theory, I'm going to use it to sort things in that area. But I tell you what, there's so many nice things that are thrown out in the transition.
You get totally understand. I've done that too. I haven't stopped to get a shelving unit, but if it's perfectly good shelving unit, probably sell it for $8 or $10. Come on.
I just can't resist. It's perfectly good.
Well, get some sorting done.
I can't go through campus right now because I will do that. I'll start to load up the van.
This should be the time they move it in. I'll leave it out.
And I think they have like a dump and run concept where people can take stuff to get reused and repurposed.
Gotcha. All right, we'll talk tomorrow.
Enjoy the day.
That's Diane Ducey. I'm Stevie Jay. Thank you for listening. Meet you back on the radio tomorrow. Have a great Monday.
This is Eddie Clare, president of Paul's. Are you looking for a career and not just a job?
Paul's is looking for outside sales representatives for commercial and industrial customers. Are you a goal-oriented self-starter?
We have a great benefit package including 2 weeks of paid vacation from day one, a company bonus, health, vision, dental for you and for your family, a 401k with a match. Let Paul's create big possibilities for you, your career, and your life. Apply online at paulsmachine.com.
You have money laying all around your house. You just don't know it. And no, I don't mean selling your great-grandma's good china. I mean all the old metal items you don't want to use or get rid of. Don't pay someone to haul it away. Bring it into Max Twin City Recycling and get paid to have it taken off your hands. They love new customers and are more than willing to walk you through their process step by step. Come check them out at 2808 North Lincoln Avenue in Urbana.
Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
Hi, I'm Tyler Weaver, president of Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery. It's time to come home to Carpet Weavers. We don't want you to just like your new floors. We want you to love them. From waterproof floors and carpet to furnitures and design advice, we've got a team of experts on your side. We'll get you the best price and the best quality products. And complete your home with furniture and accessories. Buy it all with free financing too. Come home to Carpet Weavers, where floors, furniture, and family meet.
You've changed thousands of diapers, played hours of peekaboo and duck, duck, goose because you do anything for your kids. That's why it's so important to protect them with life insurance from State Farm. State Farm agent Kurt Lenschow will help make it easy and affordable to help you protect your family no matter what the future holds. Because for the people you do anything for, life insurance could mean everything. Call State Farm agent Kurt Lenschow in Champaign-Urbana today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
At ABC Heating and Air, it's our promise to help you always be comfortable. Do you need rescued because you're burning hot? Do you need rescued because your air is shot? Call ABC Heating and Air at 352-5400 and let us rescue you from the heat. ABC Heating and Air, 352-5400. Can't you see you need to call me at ABC? Call ABC Heating and Air. That's ABC Heating and Air, 352-5400.
Get the roof your home deserves by Roof Doctors, your residential roofing specialist that has always offered the best warranties in the industry, like our non-prorated 50-year warranty. Our customers love that we are family-owned and locally operated. We make our customer needs our top priority. With over 30 years experience and the best customer service, give Roof Doctors a call today for your free estimate at 328-7529. In your community and for your community, Roof Doctors.
If you're looking for a great job, Spring Green is looking for you. Full-time, benefits and overtime, outside all day, work independently. How about full health insurance and a chance at matching funds for your 401k? Yes, Spring Green, your neighborhood lawn care team, serving all over Central Illinois. It's a great job, and if you're interested, connect with S. Imke, S-I-M-M-K-E at spring-green.net. S. Imke at spring-green.net.
Here's another home improvement insight from Kramer Siding and Window. New roofing and siding are a winning combination that can instantly change the look, feel, and function of your home. Our Kramer Siding and Window team takes pride in being an Owens Corning Platinum Preferred contractor, able to offer a best-in-the-business 50-year warranty. Pair it with preservation siding in your favorite style and color, and your home will be a showstopper. Start today and save 10% on roofing and 25% on siding. Call us, click on kramersiding.com, or visit the showroom in Champaign.
Urbana Park District's tradition is back this summer with their free Neighborhood Nights concerts between 6:30 and 8 at a different park each week with a different band. I'm Diane Ducey, your MC from Stevie Jay Broadcasting. The Park District will take care of you with free popcorn, lemonade, and water. Meet different groups and friends. Enjoy the great music every Wednesday, 6:30 to 8 at different parks throughout the summer. Find out more about Neighborhood Nights at urbanaparks.org.
From computer systems to brakes and tires too, at PDR, fixing cars is what they do. Remember, when you turn the key and the car won't run, call 367-9481 or use their dedicated text-only line at 383-0619. Additional information including repair quotes and online scheduling requests available from the website at pdrauto.com. Remember, they are what's best for your truck or car. They are PDR. You're listening to WSJK ESPN 93.5 Tuscola, Champaign.